depending on your time zone. We are live and direct here, of course, bringing your way unbiased reportage of events. Here with me is one of the analysts here, Mr. Lee.
Thank you very
Good
much,
morning.
Mr. Chibose.
Yes, we are here to discuss the incessant uh, suicide that is rampant within the Nigerian youth as a result of the economic mishap, hardship that have been forced on people, and people are passing through a lot. And unfortunately, they have not learned to manage the stress and the depressions. Most of them fall into depression, battling with the depression, and would resort to suicide. Nobody cares. Nobody would attend to them. No, even not even the government has any plan, of course, for the typical population of our masses that are impoverished by these unfriendly policies of this, not just this current government, but the situation seems to have been aggravated under this current dispensation of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Your take on this?
Well, thank you for having me, Mr. Chibose. And good morning to all our viewers all around the globe. Well, as you can see, in the past 8 months, we've had some aggressive reforms that has brought along with it hardship, economic hardship, to be sincere. Most especially, we saw how inflation grew astronomically. A, a bag of rice that used to cost around 30 something thousand cost approximately 55,000 today.
Approximately
55,000.
67,000.
Well, where I get it from, it costs around 50 something thousand.
Okay, the short
Yes,
one.
yes, the small, yeah,
The short one.
yeah, the small grade.
Okay, the short grade.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now, you see, now we
The
are even
longer
back.
grain is
Now
more
we
than
are even
70 now.
now it has even taken the price of a bag of pure water from 150 to 250. And we must put in mind that salaries have not increased. And you see, our young Nigerians, who most especially have been so used within a lifestyle that's lavish, because I must be sincere, majority of Nigerian youth do not have that conservative kind of lifestyle. All majority of the youth want to have a fun of their life. They want to be able to afford, you know, a plate of catfish with 3 bottles of beer. But you see, this hardship has reduced that to a level whereby you're having just probably half plate of catfish and no bottle of beer. So of course the pressure will set in. Now that is just me using, that lifestyle as an analogy. What am I trying to say?
These are for big boys.
What am I saying? Transportation has gone up. For example, a man who is probably earning 40,000 naira and today his salary cannot even buy a bag of rice. And I think this is an indictment on the president because the president is not educating the people on a continuous process. Yes, I supported the president and I still support him, but I have to call him out. This is a lapses he needs to cover up. He needs to close that gap. That communication gap is becoming too widening, and the youths are becoming hopeless in the nation. And when hope is lost, you are already dead. Okay? I think just last month, a banker, she killed herself right in the banking hall and she left a note saying that everything seems not to be going in accordance to her plan, that she's not meeting her targets, her salaries, but responsibilities and bills keeps increasing. All right? So even in the space of humanitarian affairs, which has to do with the social intervention, we saw what happened. This is an affair that we the people collectively agree that it should be led by women, and it has been led by 2 women, and these 2 women have been indicted
Are fantastically
to be
corrupt.
corrupt. Just within a period of 9 months, we saw Betahadu being indicted for embezzling over 1 billion naira. For the last one, Farouk, or whatever her name was, embezzled over 30 something billion. Can you imagine a Nigerian woman?
Over 37 billion. That is
I mean,
meant
this
for the
this is
masses.
this is just a statement of who we are. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We Nigerians are just exploitative in nature. And this is why I call on the president that he said a word that Nigerian youth, we need a mindset reform. Only through his constant communication can we achieve that. Because I must tell you, there are so many people out there now, if they are not strong and they are not ready to go into illegal means
of
survival, they will resort to committing suicide. And I hope we will not, or if they don't even go into fraud, they go into kidnapping, they're going, and this is why you see that kidnapping has skyrocketed and all of that. I hope he wakes up and he start communicating his intention as soon as possible. And then the social intervention programs needs to be implemented, you know, needs to be implemented with the highest level of integrity.
Honestly, I'm also affected. I know likewise things are no longer same, just like you can also
No,
experience.
everybody is affected. If you're a rich man, you have a car, you on your AC, you use your gen, you will know that what you used to spend on a monthly basis
Have tempered.
prior to the inauguration of the president, right now has probably tripled. If before you were spending, let's say for instance, 10,000 naira per week to fuel your car, now you'll be spending not less than 5,000. I was speaking with my friend who drives Benz, is it AMG or so? He said he spends 250,000 to fuel just his car on a monthly basis. And I said, are you kidding me? This is not even this. Do you know that this can feed approximately about 10 families? When you are spending 250,000, there's some family.
10 families are at the rate of what? 20,000.
There's some family that the breadwinner is not earning more than 25,000 naira. The father is probably a gatekeeper.
How can they cope with their life? With feeding.
This is why the president must ensure the social intervention program is executed with the highest level of integrity. Yes, we understand that those policies must come in place. We need to move into production.
Besides social intervention, is there no way for the government to think on how to revamp the economy and, of course, create jobs for people to feed themselves rather than depending or being at the mercy of the callous people who might be managing the humanitarian whatever?
To be fair to the president, the economy has been in a state of comatose before he came on board. We must understand that we have been solely import dependent economy, and this was so because we had subsidy in places we shouldn't have. We had it for PMS, we had it for dollar. The most disastrous subsidy we had was the subsidy on dollar, because subsidy on dollar only encouraged importation of cheap commodities. All right, so this president came on board and he removed the subsidy, which would actually encourage us to start producing locally, because when the dollar is expensive,
stop producing locally without putting in place the facilities
factors
that
of production,
can enhance production.
Listen, factors of
You don't have stable lights.
wait. Listen. On the issue of stable lights, yes, it has not gone all over the nation, but I can tell you that some places that still have stable lights, whereby production can go to. I can tell you there's stable lights in Jigawa, there's stable lights in Niger, there's stable lights in Kano, there's stable lights in Rivers, there's stable lights in Delta, there's stable lights even in Osun State.
Have you been there?
Yes, I have been there.
I have people who are in Port Harcourt are still complaining.
I have been to Osun.
They don't have light. They can't charge their phone.
They can't tell you they complain. Let me tell you,
They are complaining, not they can't tell me.
People in River State, most especially in the body camp, will not tell you that they don't have light.
Must it be body camp?
Places that are close to body camp will not complain. In Osun State, people that are close to Oshogbo and the likes, Ifo and the likes, they can't complain to you, they don't have light. In Osun State,
what is the impact?
The impact is, over the years, we have not learned to take advantage of even the little that we have, because we've always had cheaper dollar. Yes, it's coming with serious pain, and this is why I'm calling on the president that those infrastructure I am now those infrastructures will not come overnight. Okay, so this is why the president must close that gap with social intervention while they are also working on the infrastructures.
Now, a dollar to naira, of course, a dollar is 1,004. Now, after investing or wasting, let me use the word wasting, over $10 billion into forest. Yet, nothing seems to have changed.
It is not this president that wasted 10 billion naira into forests. This government
He has invested more than 9 billion.
in the forest reserve.
Yes.
No. Where are you getting that information from?
Okay.
Where are you getting this
You're not
information from?
conversant with his
No.
policies and
What he has been doing so far so good is pay backlogs, clear the forex backlogs. People who were on the on the trail who have always needed dollars, but he has not spent 10 billion to
needed dollars
no,
for what? People who needed
to
dollars for
import
what?
machineries and all the likes. He has not spent 10 billion to defend the dollar. No, he has not spent 10 billion to defend the naira against the dollar. He hasn't.
I'm surprised you're saying this.
What he has
But
borrowed
it's before the public domain.
No, what he has borrowed to actually defend the naira, and this money has not even come in full, is a 3.3 billion naira from Afri-Exim Bank.
Billion naira or $1 billion?
$3.3 billion. Pardon me. And that money only has, I think the first tranche, he collected 2 billion or so. All right? But we must know that we need nothing less than 17 billion.
To do what?
If we want this money to go back to what it were, which is around 416 naira.
Which means there is no hope for this country.
No, there's no hope. We cannot go back to that.
The
only way we can recover the strength of naira is to aggressively go into agriculture and then go into value addition into our raw materials, right? Go into our children, our expatriates who are in the diaspora, they should remit the dollar back home. Other than that, my brother, the naira will keep most diving, and at the end of the day, we might have naira, even getting to 2,000 naira.
By that you mean, of course, we are already in the state of insolvency, and the implication is that the government is no longer sustainable.
Well, you see,
because the source of
let me tell you the truth.
Has been
the
passed.
truth is the doomsday was only being postponed right from the days of the PDP. The days of the PDP, when we had massive wealth, infrastructural development was not done. For every economy today that we see as world power, first thing they did was to invest in infrastructure. That's what we call infrastructure to GDP. Your infrastructure will automatically translate to your level of GDP. Go to South Africa, go to Egypt, go to Algeria, go to Morocco, go and check their infrastructure to GDP. It is clear. As of today, the level of infrastructure we have in Nigeria is just 30%. And we're able to achieve that 30% under Buhari. Ordinarily, Buhari would just use that money to defend the naira and allow naira to remain 116 naira, which was what PDP was doing all along. They were not building any significant infrastructure. Okay? That was what they were supposed to do. But Buhari said I wasn't going to be doing the same thing to expect different results. And don't forget that under Buhari, we faced 3 economic crises. First and foremost, oil price crash. It even got to a point they were selling for $20 per barrel. Under him, we faced COVID-19. And under him, we have a massive flood that eroded all the rice mills, all the rice farms just last year or so. So we must understand this. But Nigerians are not ready for explanation. Every common Nigerian like you and I just want to be able to afford a bag of rice for 10,000 naira. Nobody cares about the experiment.
Thank you so much for your wonderful submissions, Mr. Niyi. Yes, you weren't voted or you weren't there for our explanation. Is to get results, and that is quite unfortunate. Such results is quite eluding and very elusive. People are stuck in a wheel of motionless and despair. It's quite unfortunate. We have, let's have your thoughts on this. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
You're welcome to this political rumbles here.
Thank you very much.
Yes, people are committing suicides, taking their lives as a result of hunger, frustration, economic hardship. The youths have been affected. The overbearing effect of this is no longer something that anyone can deny. So, how do we get here? Your take.
In fact, the situation that the situation are getting out of hand. So many suicide killings, many things are happening. People taking their life because there's hunger in the land. There's hunger in the land because I'll be telling people time with time number that the government does not have anything to offer. If Tinubu at this stage can travel to France, you have not been able to solve issues on ground. You travel. And you see what happened in Plateau State. They want to, their Fulanis are coming back again to kill. You then went to France. Why will people now decide to commit suicide? A graduate that have, someone that graduated for more than, a graduated looking for a job for more than 10 years. We want to commit suicide, no job, nothing. You see the issue of this Yahoo, things are happening, criminals and people are compromising. It has made people to go extra mile to be compromising. You will not blame them. Gradually looking for a job, no job, they involve you. I'm not supporting them as an evangelist. But the government should find drastic solution to stop suicide. Why? Because if a man that is touching millions all of a sudden due to economy down, economic inflation and so on affected that man business, he will begin to compromise. That is why you find out that the corruption we cannot be able to stop corruption. And corruption, we need to make sure that we fight corruption. Without fighting corruption, there will be hunger. That's the only thing, that's what I see there, because corruption is already in his skin, in the blood of a black man.
Now, do you see the commitment on the part of this administration of Tinubu uh, in fighting corruption?
Well, they say they are fighting corruption. The former president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, claimed that he's fighting corruption. They all say they are fighting corruption. All the past presidents, they are claiming they fight corruption. This is not how to fight corruption. When you are fighting corruption, a situation where you appoint ministers that are corrupt, Tinubu cabinet, most of them they are corrupt. Immediately you need to flog them out. That is it. Even the Tinubu is also corrupt. What I'm talking about. When the head is not good, the leg will not be able to work well. So the leader is corrupt. Why the subordinate will not be corrupt? If
So what are
Tinubu,
you saying? Does it mean there is no hope for a common man in this
we
country
only hope,
under this current template?
only only hope that we have in this country, to me, is to flush out the bad head. Why? Because if the youth decide to revolt, you find out that federal government will declare state of emergency, whereas they would have allowed the youth, the citizens of the country, to pour out their mind, because they are serving us, not that we are serving them. Because we need to protest this time around. We need to go on the street and cry. Government need to hear us and hear our grievances, and you know that there is hunger in the land. Look at a cup of jerrycan of rice, 1,100 naira. Beans, 800 naira, 900. Gari,
Yes,
so many.
1,100.
These are very expensive. These are very, very, very high. Cost of living is very high. A country where you encourage people to go to school to learn good English, but they are hunger in their belly. You did promote agriculture. I have not heard about it. You can't promote agriculture. You can't encourage agriculture. You can't put money into mechanized farming for us to have enough food. Because the Fulanis, they have taken everything for granted. They believe that the Fulanis and the outside, they believe that they are the one supplying, bringing tomatoes and other food stuff from the north. This is the where we in the south, the west, the east, we need to come together and make sure that the government promote agriculture. The federal government does not promote. Every governors of this state should make sure that they pump money to mechanized farming. Tomato, rice, and abakaliki, they have rice. Etoma, they have rice. This we need to encourage them so that we don't need to be talking about foreign rice. Rice now there's 75,000.
Unfortunately, those who are farming are being killed in their own farms
What we are
and
talking about.
lands by the Fulani militias or marauders. So, can the government resolve the issue of insecurity with this approach they're adopting?
The issue is this: is that they it Buhari could be able to handle it. Tinubu cannot be able to handle it. Why? Because the politicians are also involved. The politicians, the politicians so far are the ones sponsoring the Fulani. Why? Because they want to cause havoc, they want to cause chaos in the government.
Mm.
Because these politicians, they know they are looking for something. The Sabisa forest we are talking about, it contains some mineral resources, which those politicians they want to make sure that they took over some acres of land that contains mineral resources like gold and bitumen. So therefore, they will want to cause problem in every government that come. That is the reason why I still love what Wike is doing. Despite Wike have his own shortcoming, I love what he's doing. He was still dealing with them in Abuja, making sure that he do things the way it's supposed to be. That is what we want. We need iron hand. Because Tinubu, you are seeing there, he just there for power. He's not there to do the needful. It's not there to do the needful. We need people that that can transform the nation. Look at JJ Rowling many years ago, a man that stood and made sure he deal with those that cause that cause Ghana backward. That make sure that make sure that he crucify them. But today Ghana economy is maybe stable, waking up. That's wake up more than Nigeria economy. So if we follow peradventure, we are saying that Nigeria is very bigger than Ghana, but we should look at it that we need to start from somewhere. Because to me, when David in the Bible inquired from God that shall we chase the enemy, can I overtake and recover? We need to overtake and recover all what belongs to us.
Now, before the covering, what can those who have no source of livelihood, those who have lost their job, those who are in between two opinions, whether to commit suicide or to end their life, because they have not seen any reason, no meaning has been given to their lives. What do you think they can do at this time?
Thank you very much. You see, what I will encourage those that are planning to commit suicide now, if you are planning to commit suicide, my brother, my sister, there is hope. Because when there is life, there is hope. Because when there is life, there is hope. And I will encourage them to keep on pushing forward, because never give up. Because I myself personally, I don't even want to put my mind on government. Why? Because we need to just use our hand to work on things. Because by the grace of God, I have planned this year that I can go into production, supply, buying and selling, wherever it may be. Go into production, whatever your hands can find to do according to the future, you do it. But waiting for the government does not have anything to offer. Their own is to loot fund, and have a bank in Europe to bank the money. When they will ask them, they will say Nigeria is not safe. With them, they are found with greediness. You see what greediness have caused Nigeria into? Greediness have caused the middlemen, the poor men to be suffering, which is not supposed to be so. I will encourage our youth, the adult, our father, our mother suffering. We should believe that there's hope. And what government is supposed to do is to release grant for those that need empowerment. You support them with 500, 300, then they will start something. That is how it's supposed to be. But you find out that this grant is going to the north. It's going to the north, empowering the north. How long can we become fools? That is why Charlie Boy say I love drama and say our mumu done too much.
Thank you so much, Mumu.
Thank you
Done
very
too
much.
much. I do appreciate your time and submissions. Yes, SM fans, is quite disturbing and very disturbing one indeed. Honestly, to see the citizens committing suicide on the basis of hardship, economic mishaps that have not been addressed over the years. Nigerians have known before to be suffering and smiling, but the narrative has changed because The impact of the inflation, the hardship, of course, has battered every hope left for the average Nigerians, most especially the youth, whose future appears to be bleak and, of course, not in holding any prospects of fortune. It is quite sad, but my candid advice to everyone is that you should try to guide your heart, of course, with all diligence, because don't allow depression to overwhelm you. Don't allow the thoughts of depression, the thoughts and anxiety to, of course, overwhelm you. That does not mean you may not live in the realities of our times. Yes, but the reality is that you must learn how to, of course, lose yourself from holding onto those things that makes you sad or that demoralizes you. You can only change what you can change, and accept whatever you cannot change, and to continue to depend on God to navigate the way out of this quagmire. It is a very sad one indeed, but the reality cannot be denied. We have families, and the things are biting hard. You begin to ask, even at war, you have never experienced such level of devastation, hunger in the land, poverty. Is the president of the impoverished masses? What is he doing? What are the steps, deliberate steps, actions embarked on to cushion the effect of these economic mishaps? These are fundamental questions. Yes, the world are experiencing inflections and economic meltdown, but responsible governments are taking steps, of course, to cushion the effect of these economic mishaps in their own country. Unfortunately, the masses are abandoned, of course, at their own uh, to to face whatever is coming to them. While the rich or the politically exposed persons are the one ripping off the country, increasing the allowances and, of course, salaries, while those, the common men, are not affected positively. How can you survive? Even someone that is paid 100,000 cannot take you through this. Honestly, you begin to ask, what is happening? What is happening? It is quite sad, and it's in fact it's something that we cannot not explain within the shortest time. But the pains and agonies are being felt around us. Sometimes you see people with children, women hanging around asking a beg, will never eat, and you can imagine not just one, not two, on the streets of Lagos, on the streets of the Lagos State, Ikeja Oba, and it is becoming more pronounced that people are losing their patience. They don't know where to fall back. Have you been in such situation? Maybe you have never imagined the possibility, but these are the realities here in Nigeria. So if you want to partner with us to see how to alleviate the sufferings, of course, of this ones, the little we can, you may kindly, of course, get my phone number, WhatsApp line, uh, via the description line, or you may want to have it. If you are ready, you indicate, let me know, and I will give you the contact, how to get in touch with me, and eventually, of course, see how you can, even in a little way, affect lives. People are passing through very uh, exacerbating and exhilarating situations you cannot explain. Sometimes it's beyond explanations. People are dying, let alone to talk about those who are sick. When you visit the hospitals in Nigeria, you will regard them as mortuaries, the potential mortuaries, honestly. The way, of course, the social workers or the medical workers are no longer, of course, available. Even those who are working, who are still within the country, are overstretched, overburdened. The ratio of the doctors or the the nurses to that of the patients are something. It could be 1 to 4,000. Okay, let me be very, very realistic. Let's say 1 to 1,000. How can that be possible? They are overwhelmed, and you may not have to blame them sometimes because they are also humans. They also need to live in order to serve. But the government, fortunately, are not paying attention to this. Nobody cares. The politicians are only busy jetting out the country for medical vacations for their families and loved ones, leaving the majority, the populations of this country, at the state of vulnerability. It is quite unfortunate, and it's something all are sundry. Everyone must rise to resist. We cannot continue to take this. Of course, we cannot continue to tolerate this abnormality and think that we can move forward as humans. I mean, we cannot subject humanity to such a lowest ebb, and let's just watch. Yes, as I'm saying, we cannot continue with this level of destruction. Honestly, it is quite provoking, quite sad, very unfortunate indeed. And humanity must rise at this time. As I rightly said, let me kindly drop my contact. If it cares, of course, to assist humanity, especially Nigerians here. Okay, here said Tinubu, okay, should tackle unemployment, hunger, poverty, naturally. Oh, that is insecurity. Well, that is what are the expectations of millions, hundreds of millions are. But will he really do that? Does he have the capacity? Have he shown any sign, of course, or any ways of growth to the masses that can guarantee there such possibilities? Of course, I'm in doubt, and of course, the millions of Nigerians are also in doubt of his readiness and commitment to this effect. It is quite unfortunate. But what we can do as humans, whatever you think you can do to support, of course, our feeding programs or to initiate this, you can do that, and you can trust us for such partnership. My WhatsApp line is 0806 4228967. 0806 4228967. On this note, we wrap it up in this edition of the Political Rumbles, trusting that God will spare us alive, of course, to continue this service to humanities by next week. Remember this and have a fruitful and fantastic weekend with your lovers and families. Bye for now.